Hi, Merry Christmas. My name's Kim. I'm a licensed and nationally certified East Asian medical provider, and I'm a Taoist practitioner. I've been talking a little bit about how it looks like the world's changing right now and how each one of us is waking up to what's really important. And I don't think we could have done this without the pandemic, but I know that halfway through the pandemic, who I was as a person and how I thought about the world suddenly took some dramatic changes. And, I could be a smart butt and say, when you find out that some massive entity is trying to kill you, well, that really changes how you look at the world. And yeah, that was probably a big part of it. But my husband and I, we were out shopping yesterday, the day before Christmas Eve. So today is Christmas Eve, and Merry Christmas to you. I hope you and your family are having a wonderful time and a wonderful celebration, because this is the season for gratitude. And that is what started coming up for me a lot this season, is this sensation of gratitude. So, my husband and I, we were in the grocery store and we were shopping for just some odds and ends, because we had made a whole chicken the night before. And so I was like, okay, the two of us, we definitely cannot eat a whole chicken. And so we're going to have leftovers for days. And the thing is what do you do with those leftovers? So I made a chicken pot pie last night with part of the leftovers. And then today is Christmas Eve. And I was thinking, well, we were out shopping, and all the grocery stores up here have prime rib on sale. They have their really expensive meats on sale. And even on sale, they can be really expensive. So where I live, what we do here is, if you've ever watched the episodes of Portlandia, well, that's not too far from the truth, because we do ask, where did you get this? What farm was it from? Here in our specialty grocery stores, not the major chains, you get grocers that purchase locally from farmers that are doing sustainable farming. And every one of them has a slightly different twist on how sustainable they are and how healthy or how organic their meats are. And, after the pandemic, one of the things we started realizing, at least a lot of us started realizing, is that, oh my gosh, we've got to do everything that we can to keep ourselves healthy. And one of the ways that we're going to do that is through buying healthy or sustainably farmed vegetables, animals, food sources. So the other thing that I started doing was I started cooking from scratch. Both my husband and I, during the pandemic, we all got 3 years of learning how to cook by scratch. And what we found is that the more we cooked from scratch, the less we could eat out, the less we could eat packaged foods or processed foods. We could taste the chemicals in those foods. We could smell it. We could smell meats that were a little bit too old. All these things that we didn't notice before because we were so sick anyways. So we're in the grocery store and it's packed because everybody's doing their last minute shopping before Christmas. And they've got all their specialty meats on sale. And we're looking at some of the meats from some of the great sustainable farms here. And they really remind me of what the meat was when I was growing up in rural Minnesota, before we had GMOs, before we had corporate farming, when we had small farms that were taking care of their animals because their animals were their livelihood. So we were looking at that, and the butcher actually came out to talk to us because one of the best small farmers, sustainable farmers here, had their meats on sale, their prime ribs on sale. And on sale, the prime rib was $29 a pound, which was, is still really expensive. But they had a 3-pound thing of meat for something like $118. And, my husband and I, we were looking at that. Something just didn't work for me when I was looking at this, and not taking anything away from the farm that raised these animals, because it is one of my favorite farms here. If I'm doing beef, I definitely want to buy from this farm. But it was Christmas, and it was different. It just felt different. We do these massive Christmas meals, which, when I was growing up, that was something that was special because we didn't do these massive Christmas meals every day. We didn't get the best meat every day. We did that once a year, and we celebrated that with family. And as I was looking at this yesterday, I was like, we do this every day now. This isn't special. This isn't me having a special meal to celebrate with my family and loved ones. This is another day of gluttony, because these grocery stores, they'll have these meats on sale for any special day. Veterans Day, Memorial Day, New Year's Eve, the start of deer season, any day that has a special mark to it, you'll find their best meats on sale. And, I was thinking about that. I was like, wow, so we could do this massive meal of prime rib, potatoes, stuffing, just this massive feast of gluttony. And I don't know about you, but I realized that that isn't what I wanted for Christmas. And you know what I wanted was, I just wanted a home-cooked meal with all real ingredients that hadn't been processed, that hadn't had sugar, chemicals, preservatives added to them. I just wanted a simple, basic meal like I used to get when I was a kid. So that's a different twist on things, right? And, being that we're eating less meats, I didn't need a lot of meats. I wanted a simple meal that was holistic and feeling, because it's kind of cold right now. So, it's kind of feeling a little bit like winter. A warmer, more filling meal sounds great. And I realized I still had probably half that chicken. And what I really wanted to make was a casserole, was a chicken casserole. So for me, for my Christmas Eve dinner, what I wanted was a chicken casserole. Okay, so I'm still learning how to cook. Not everything is all off the top of my head right now. And I save all these recipes that I look through, that I use on my Pinterest favorite food section. So I'm looking through everything because I'm like, okay, I just want a casserole tonight. And I have the chicken, I have most of the vegetables. What is it that I need? And I'm looking at these recipes, and they all are using processed foods. So the first 4 recipes that I look at are using Campbell's cream of chicken soup for their sauce. And I'm thinking that's not what I want to eat. And part of it is that the Campbell's soups, oh, destroy my stomach, totally does not like them, totally destroys it. So I'm thinking I need to figure out how to make this cream sauce on my own. I don't want to use something out of a can. I really had to search for recipes to find a recipe that wasn't using something that was canned or processed. And I finally found one that showed me how to make the cream sauce for the chicken casserole. And I saved that to my Pinterest account. Now, I always take these recipes and I look at them and then I switch them up to have the ingredients that I want in them and the organic ingredients that I want in them. So any recipe that you find online, it's about taking it and making it yours and making it about how you eat. And what I found is to make their cream sauce, what they were doing was they were using whole milk. Well, I switched mine to cream. So organic A2 cream. And that's what I used as my base for my chicken casserole. Now, the other thing that they were using is they were using Ritz crackers for the crust. And I'm sorry, any of those crackers in a box, that's another thing. I cannot eat those. Those will completely destroy my stomach. I will get the worst heartburn from it. So that I took out. And of course, I replaced it with breadcrumbs, that I had toasted up. The other thing that I found that I can do is croutons. So the other one that I like is a ranch crouton, and crunching that up and mixing that for the topping of this chicken casserole. So I found a recipe that showed me how to use just basic ingredients, all whole ingredients. And that's all I really wanted for Christmas. For this New Year's Eve, that is all I wanted. And I think I was kind of surprised. I don't know how you guys are doing with this, but I think I was kind of surprised that I really didn't want that extravagant, luscious, decadent meal. I didn't want that. That wasn't resonating for me, and I wasn't going to enjoy eating that. I just really wanted something simple that was nutritious, that was healthy, that was sustainable in the environment and in my body. And I think I was pretty amazed to find that really all I wanted was a chicken casserole. So that's going to be my Christmas Eve meal to myself. And not saying that I am completely without gluttony, because I'm sure there's gluttony there someplace. But it was a change. It was a big change for me. And this was probably the first year that I noticed this change that was really quite dramatic. If I was to do a big meal of, prime rib or the turkey or the goose or duck or whatever it was, some extravagant meal that I would never do any other time of the year, except now we do it other times of the years, a lot of other times of the year, it wouldn't have made me happy. I wouldn't have felt good about it. I wouldn't have enjoyed it. I so miss home cooking that I'm really grateful that I'm starting to learn how to do it again. And I'm really grateful that I can recognize that that's really all I want this Christmas is just this really great home cooking, and that I'm not letting the advertising or the marketing get to me, get under my skin and push me to do something that I really just don't want to do. So for you and your Christmas, I hope you're doing what is best for you. I hope you're like, oh, this is what I really want. This is what's going to make me great. It's going to make me happy. This is what I'm going to do. And that you're doing those things that are going to make you happy and grateful for the year that we had, for your family, for your friends, for your loved ones, and for the year that's coming in a few days. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, and until next time, I'll catch you on the other side.